I truly have the best cigar family in the world. From people of the Legion family, from people of the Sanj family, I forever have been getting nothing but memories that it would last the test of time. You guys saw a little intro. I'm reviewing a Lost City 2020 Lost City Opus X. This bad boy was given to me by the amazing and phenomenal power couple, Block and Bree. They're members of the Sanj family. They tend to visit a couple times a year at Sanj's shop. Every single time. Like they don't have to do anything. And every single time we hang out, they will have me do bourbon taste tests, whiskey taste tests. They're phenomenal human beings. Amazing to talk to, very funny, very down to earth. When they talk to you, they give me a little wicking call. So shout out to both Bree and Block. And thank you, Block, for giving me the cigar, even though Bree told you not to. But out of respect, instead of me enjoying it on my own time, I wanted to bring it on the channel. It deserves a spot on the channel because you didn't need to. You wanted to, and I deeply appreciate it. So this is how I show my appreciation. I will enjoy the cigar for the first time with, I guess, you watching as well, Block and Bree, as well as any other person that clicks on the video. Little cedar undertone. Oh, it's a spice in there, just from the cold draw. So this is the Lost City. MSRP stands between 35 some change to 38 some change. All depends on the location you get it from. It could span. There's no set price to these opuses. There typically is a market value, but good luck finding that at that price. The medium prices I see of this cigar is $35.50 to $38. More information about this. This is a Toro. You have a 6 3/4 by 48. And the basic information about the cigar is that the reason why it's called Lost City is because Andy Garcia started filming a movie called The Lost City and wanted a garden in the Chateau de Fuente. But then notice in July, there was no tobacco because all the tobacco was cultivated and harvested in March. So that is when he asked Carlito Fuente, I need help. I need tobacco plants for this movie. So they collaborated together and Carlito Fuente planted tobacco for the film. After the movie was done filming, Andy Garcia went to Carlito Fuente and asked him, what are you going to do with the tobacco? And Carlito Fuente said, I'll wait until it's matured, and then if it's good, I'll use it. That's when Andy Garcia decided to have the idea of, hey, how about we use the tobacco, you put the brand The Lost City on it from the movie I'm making. We could use the proceedings of this project, to the foundations I want to support. And what exactly is that foundation? Well, there is a school in Dominican Republic that is unfortunately having a lot of people who are underprivileged. So the foundation that Andy Garcia is a part of will give these kids of the quote unquote cigar family high school a chance to have a college fund. So Andy Garcia and Carlito Fuente basically started the Lost City College Fund Scholarship. And the proceedings of the Lost City cigars went towards the underprivileged kids in the Banao region in Dominican Republic. That is it. Other information known about the cigar is that everything in this is Dominican, bonnet filler and wrapper. Does this tell me the specifics? No. All we do know is that it was used in the film The Lost City. That's everything I could think of. I gave it a Vitola Toro 6 3/4 by 48 and the background story of it. Now it's time for me to actually enjoy this cigar. Just from the cold draw, like I said before, you can tell there's gonna be spice. I feel spice, and as well as the cold draw, it's going to be sweet. You also get this cedar like taste to it, and apparently that is normal to opuses. This is the third opus I've ever had in my life. I am a opus newbie. I am an opus rookie. Take my opinions with a grain of salt. as this is my journey to become a better reviewer and most likely a more experienced reviewer. Opuses are the talks of legends in a sense because it is something that's sought after. Not everybody enjoys opuses, but you do have to admit, love it or hate it, it's cool to have something that feels like a treasure hunt. Even though it has a huge price tag attached to it, those who could afford it, you have to admit it's cool to have a treasure hunt with something that is your passion. And this is the closest you could feel basically to a kid. Because when you're a kid, you want to collect them all. And you do it with baseball cards. You do it with bottle caps. You do it with postage stamps. You do it with Pokemon cards. You do it in this generation with the pop figures. You have all these different things people collect throughout the decades. So no matter what age you are, you have comic books. No matter what it is, every single generation had something you wanted to collect. Obviously, I have a lot of things to collect. Hats, Pokemon cards, dabble off stuff, cigar boxes, the things you see right here in plastic bags, this right here, this, and then that. Those are stuffed animals of good friends of mine that are on the YouTube sides, and they partner with people that actually do plushies of them. So I collect whatever helps my friends or things I have a problem with that causes severe debt and depression. On that note, so as I start this Opus journey, those who are watching and those who are cigar enthusiasts and those who are Opus enjoyers and hunters, offer me advice, offer me information, anything you know the ins and out of opuses or things you want to see in the future. Let me know. I have connections to people who does collect opuses. Not saying I'm gonna take from their stash. So someone not gonna hit me up after this video and think I'm gonna expect the opus from them again. No, I'm talking about in the future when life is no longer lifing and life starts to be a little bit more affordable to have side hobbies. I can start putting money to the side to, hunt some of these things down that you guys want me to review. Oh, let me turn my fan on. So the retro itself, you had the spice pepper. I'll say white pepper. You have this sugary sweetness to it. It's like, oh my God, what do you call those things? There's these things that my grandma used to buy. They're like these small little cookies, right? Small cookies. It's gonna bother me. I gotta look it up for you guys. There you go. Call me crazy. Call me maybe. Carly Rae Jepsen. I get this flavor off of the cigar. It's like a sweetness. It's definitely like a Spanish snack. Because when it comes to the Caribbean, especially like in Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, yes, people might think Dominicans and Puerto Ricans are like enemies because of the rivalry, whatever. You see it a lot in media. But we almost had the same, upcoming and upbringing when it comes to almost like with food. Us tostones is more popular with Dominicans. Mofongo or maduros are more popular with us. Tostones is more popular in our food. Our rice, our sticky part, we call it pegao. Dominicans call it concon. And the basic premise of me doing this little comparison is that when it comes to our sweets, our dulce, which is our little candies in the side that we get from our grandparents or our mom or our aunts or our uncles, our titis, our tios, abuelitas, we tend to share the same type of sweets when it comes to the Caribbean islands. And every single time I mention a sweet, candies my grandma used to buy, My Dominican friends will say, oh yeah, my grandma used to buy the same exact thing. We are mirrors of each other. Now, our boat went to Puerto Rico. Your boat went to Dominican Republic and Haiti. We're still the same. And I'm getting like a little tiny hints like espresso. We have this very small amount of coffee that's lingering in the background. Because when I took that deep retro, we had the sweetness in the forefront that just instantly came through. Midway of the retro hill, that's when you have that woodsy aspect to it. And at the tail end, that's when you get like a small aftertaste of coffee bean. I'm liking this. To me, I'm starting to think it's black pepper. The black pepper in this is ever so subtle. It's not overpowering. It's not overwhelming your palate. It doesn't choke you up, because sometimes with spice bomb cigars, sometimes when you do a retro, it kind of makes you cock back for 3 seconds like, damn, okay. So you try to anticipate it. This one, I think even if you are beginning to understand how to retro, this would not really affect you. Or I wouldn't say this is a bad one to start learning retroing with, because the pepper is ever so slight earth, little bit of leather. The mental image I get with the cigar is you're going to Puerto Rico and you're in the mountains. You're visiting your uncle or your aunt or abuelita or abuelito. You're visiting them. They live in the mountains and their house is almost like a cabin, and you're spending the weekend with them. All around you is nothing but trees and wood and just almost like a forest. As you relax in the cabin, the family member, whether it be aunt, uncle, whoever it is, the family member you're staying with in the mountains offer you a whole bunch of different Spanish pastries or dulces. That's the picture I paint in my head with this cigar. It's light. It's not strong. I don't feel like there's a lot of nicotine content in it, so the strength of it is medium to me. 99% of the time when you see an Opus, there's a huge chance where parts of the filler, binder, or wrapper is undisclosed. This one, at least it was described as a Dominican puro, which means everything came most likely from that movie. Also, looking more into the information, this cigar is a full when it comes to strength. Once I get to the second, third, I'll continue my review. See you then. All right, so I'm about halfway into the cigar. I can understand some of the hype. I also can understand with Tony saying just cedar. That woodsy, cedary component of the cigar is very nice and sweet and is extremely strong. It's definitely the main player to the game when it comes to the taste notes. Halfway into the cigar, that spice, that black spice, definitely comes out a little bit more. That sweetness starts to take a chill behind the scenes, and that, like I said, the cederness comes out more dominant. You have that spiciness starting to play more of a bigger role. We have the other main components into cigars. You have slight leather and slight earth started to peek its way up to the front, but predominantly it's cedar. It's a very sweet cedar. Well, it's time to take off the band. Hopefully it does not destroy the cigar. Okay. Construction remained fine. Slight canoe on the cigar. As you can see with the body, cap and wrapper still slightly intact. As I approach the last third, this cigar was definitely an experience. The Opus X line has 100% opened my eyes about this realm of cigars. I'm not sure the difference between the Lost City and the typical Opus X lines, which are a little bit more rare to get. Taurus the Bull, Purple Rain, and all the other ones I've seen, Forbidden Love, and these amazing, spectacular names, Angel Share. The names of these Opus lines have all been very it just sounds majestic. And I'm not too sure how the Lost City compares to those cigars, the Dubai line, all the other ones that, Mr. Eric smoke one if you have one. tries his best to desperately hunt for. This one does have an MSRP between the 35 to 38.50 range, and I'm not too sure. Trying to find them are in the $100 range. This was given to me as a gift. I did saw these cigars displayed at Sanja's shop around the $36+ range, so I'm not too sure if these are a little bit more rarer, exotic, and so on, or maybe these are more common. Just how people describe the God of Fire to be more of a budget-friendly version of Opus X's. I am very under knowledge of the Opus brand, so for those who are Opus hunters, Opus enjoyers, or Opus aficionados, educate me. How does this cigar compare to the other Opuses that's out there? Is this something that's more on the lines of the God of Fire, where it is more of the budget-friendly versions of Opuses? Is this something that's on the same rank level of those other Opuses? I need to know. But all I do know is from the experience I got from the cigar, it is very well. The cedar is dominant compared to any other taste notes in the cigar, but it's a cedar note that I quite enjoy. What my good friend Tony, Sources Assassin, has stated, privately in our tribal chats, which happens in our Discord, he describes the Opus lines as cedar bombs. That's the majority of the flavor notes you will get, and I could already agree. Just for the two I smoked, I did smoke one years ago. At the time period, I was not focusing on taste notes. I was just focusing on just the experience of just having a cigar. From the last one I smoked, that Smoke One Even Had one Eric gave me, and this one that Block gave me, I've noticed a lot of the notes that's prominent is the cedar. So educate me. The one favor I have for you guys reviewing this, educate me. Let me know in the comment section, what was your first Opus, and are you an Opus collector? And for those out there who don't like Opuses, explain to me why you don't like Opuses. I want to gain more knowledge of this line, because I do have another Opus that's in this dry box that I will be reviewing someday soon. And I also have one given to me by my great friend, the Cigar Collective, Peter, that's going to be joining this box very soon. I'm going to wrap up this video with my rating. Taste notes, I'm going to give it an 8. The cedar is very prominent. That sweetness gives me that reminiscence of those snacks, mostly like the cookies, the sweet cookies my grandparents and aunts used to give me growing up. The pepper is very subtle, yet also prominent, that it doesn't overwhelm my palate. So it's a very nice spice to it. You have the other aspects of it that's also very delicious. So I'm gonna give it an 8. For construction, I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. For construction, I'm gonna give it an 8. At one point it was canoeing, and unfortunately I did have to touch up the cigar 1 or 2 times. So for construction, I'm gonna give it an 8. For experience, just for the simple fact that this was given to me as a gift the day I had at Sanja's shop with Block, with Bree, knowing this is part of the Opus line. Experience, I'm gonna give it a 9. There's a lot of good memories that I have associated with the cigar itself. Obviously, the heavy hitter of my rating is the taste notes. So taste notes is doubled. So at the end of the day, with 8.889, the rating will be about 8.25. Since this cigar is an 8.25, shout out to my good friend Peter, the Cigar Collective. And for this video, I'm gonna steal his concept once again. I'm gonna give this cigar a B. So on that note, thank you again, Block. Thank you again, Bree, for that wonderful day, for the wonderful gift, and also the wonderful memory. Until next time, guys, as always, I love your faces, and I'm out. Peace.